Hello, good evening, and welcome to Trident 10 broadcast. Also on islandsports.net if you're now joining us. And the game is already started, a couple minutes in. And we have Wharton FC versus BDS Sports Program. And Wharton is going from your left to right in the blue shirts, red shirts, and the BDS Sports Program is in all white. And the soldiers have given away a free kick. And Wharton is in possession. And BDF retains possession at this present moment. And yes, they're in all white, going from your left to the right side of your screen if you're now watching us here on the Trident 10 broadcast and also on Island Sports Network. And we welcome you. We welcome you to our broadcast here, and good evening to all the viewers that is watching at the present moment. Watson with a throw-in as possession goes to them, a slight delay in the game. BDF with possession, and they're slowing the pace down and passing the ball around. Some ball in the air, and Watson will take possession. Making a move. He's holding up the ball pretty good. Number 19 of Watton, looks like, or John Hawksworth. You know, that's a foul there by the two BDF players. Just manhandling the players, but referee sees otherwise. It's a free kick to Watton. As John Hawksworth stands over the free kick, he's probably looking to put this ball into one of his on his opponent's head, and it goes back pole, and it's knocked away by the goalkeeper there. So it goes out for a throw, and Watson still has possession, and they're looking a little threatening fairly early inside the first 10 minutes of play. It's a long throw into the box, and that's nodded away by Akeem Smith of BDS Sports Program. It's a long searching ball over the top. BDF in possession, takes a shot block. Captain of Wharton, Rico Baptiste, nicely play possessions out wide. It's a next foul there. Player goes down. Now looks like Darian King, who has just conceded foul. Baptiste stands over the ball. Ball goes out of player. Watson has the next throw again. BDF throw. Smith with the ball. Plays it out to the right. And Sargent crosses it into the box. Finds the Watton players. Deflected back out to second Watton player. Scartington plays a long searching ball. Here we have the next Watton. Strong possession changes hands pretty often in the first 10 minutes of the game, just 7 minutes in, and the pace seems to be slowing down a bit, but no real threats yet as Wharton pulls the first threat from a free kick and then a long throw in into their box on the opposite end. Codrington there with a throw. BDF moving the ball nicely around the park. That goes out. There's some lovely weather here in Barbados. It's rather cool, not too hot, not too sunny at the present moment, but everything seems to be good. BF move the ball over the top. It's a long ball. Keeper comes out to collect the ball. Let's say dirty. Players tossing it for the ball over on the right side of the park over there. Bob is on the far side with the throw. And he's playing in his familiar position at right back for Wharton over the last couple of weeks. Two players collide. Two of them gone down. Referee hasn't stopped players yet. It's still on the park. BDF slows play down. Now they're kicking the ball off. Player looks pretty okay. He gets up, shake off his early knock, and possession will be retained by BDF. Hawksworth throw the ball back on, and Wharton gives BDF back possession. So BDF moving the ball nicely around the park again. It's a brilliant move down the right side. Sargent goes on a run. Cross into the box, deep to back pole, nodded away by Bob. Next cross comes in, ball's back on, and it goes wide. That's a goal kick to Wharton. So if you're just tuning in, the lineup for BDS Sports Program this week: Sheikh Kaju in bar, Javon Austin is on the field. He's ranked number 2. Shalon Collymore, who's on the bench. Ronaldo Trim, he's now ranked number 4. He's starting. And BDF crosses into the box again. It's no one. One player looks up, hits the ball long. And it's hot swerve on a fight there. With Codrington showing his strength, using his strength, pushing him off the ball. BDF retains possession again. But as we continue, we have Rashad Jules, ranked number 8, Nicholas Best, number 9, Akeem Brown, number 13, Omani Leacock, who's striking for the Soldiers. He has on number 14, Shane Codrington has on number 17, Rashad Smith, number 18, Raheem Sargent, number 19, Akeem Hill has on number 23. SWAT has possession in the middle of the park. They're looking to build an attack here. BDF is defending solidly. Hawksworth is in a mix of almost everything since this game has started. It's appealing for foul. He wins nothing. BDF on the ball again, controlling. And for Wharton, their starting lineup is Paul Darty in goal, Keon Harding number 4, Deshaun Bob number 3, Rico Baptiste number 6, Kelly Rampersad number 17, Kimar John number 11, Jermaine Caesar number 16. He's starting for the first time in a few weeks. Kadeem Letman number 19, and Darian King, he has on number 12. BDF building possession, working for a true ball. It's more like Darian King has possession, they're passing this off. There to Hot Swerve. Hot Swerve goes back to Bob. Bob calling his players forward. Everyone is they're playing sharp passing out here. Watson, they're looking to pass a move. It's a nice long ball across the box. Well defended by BDF in a sense. Watson still has possession. So incredibly, the pace has slowed down considerably from the first 5 minutes in the game. The first 5 minutes pace was pretty frantic and slowed down a lot. Both teams are looking to build possession nicely and work each other out. BDF still solid at the back. Watson is throwing majority of the attacks. Now BDF is on the attack again. It's a long through ball. Silver on the left side. Player looking at it. It's a nice footwork. Passes out to the top of the box. BDS still keeps possession. Oh, minor league caught looking at the bill shot. Oh, that's a nice ball. Oh, he blizzes it over. And that was lovely football there from Oman and Lee caught laying off the ball. I'm sure the Watton players were appealing for offside. And it was a brilliant pass there by Oman and Lee caught. And it looks like Bess, who has blazed over the crossbar, and that should have been 1-0 for BDF, but that's a brilliant opportunity wasted. And as I mentioned earlier, Watson was a team who were building majority of the attacks on one end of the field, but BDF were defending well, and BDF had their one moment of glory there to put the game a little beyond Watson, but they've missed. And that was a perfect opportunity for Watson to be defending for the rest of the game. But BDF, they make a mess of that. And now, hopefully, Watson can recover and build some attacks and get BDF. But BDF is known for their strength. There's a powerhouse in local football here in Barbados. And to be honest, you must say that, this season has really tossed up some results already. And BDF is the defending champions. The ball goes out of play there. Sargent losing his footing. And again, BDF wins possession back straight away from the throwing. Ball over the top. It looks like Bess is on a run again. Trying to cut back, but Baptiste is equal to it. Send that long ball forward, and BDF seems to be thinking. Shaky Jukes came over and cover. The BDF players keep possession. As you can see, the BDF is just holding their shape. They look very uniform as a unit when they're holding the ball and keeping the ball, but when they're attacking, usually see players go on some orthodox runs, especially Sargent, who usually be in the middle, and then he's out on the left side, very wide. And there we go again. City BF, they're looking for Sargent, they finds him. Now he's just looking to fight with two Watton players. He loses possession. And Watson is starting to give BDF back the ball on every time they win possession back. So let's see. Kane passes the ball forward, goes out wide, and Hawksworth is out there on the right. He loses it again. He looks like almost as if he was waiting for the pass to come there, but that's a foul. That's a hard foul there. It's a possibility of cards, and it looks like Kelly Rampasad could be in trouble. And he just gets away with a talking to. The referee has seen otherwise, and it's the BDF player who receives the yellow card. And that's Javon Austin who would have just received the yellow card. The referee has seen different there, so Kelly Rampersad got away, pretty much. And that's a nice ball. Oh, that's a foul. It was good tackles. No foul there. And it looks like Darian King is all up in arms there with the referee, appealing for, I don't know, I mean, the light is very good, but can't be appealing for light at this present moment. The referee waves play on. Now it's back to Dorothy. Dorothy hits a long ball up midfield again. Now taken there by the BDF player who hits over the top. And there's a good ball across the box. And that's goal number one. Best this time. Making it look very, very easily is. And best scores is very, very easy for him. And it's 1-0 to BDF. Not much of a, excited celebration, but normally you will see the BDF players have a really, really good celebration there. But Best makes it look very, very easy. Again, Watson sleeping at the back. And BDF takes the lead. But at this stage, BDF should have been 2-up. Best missed a very easy chance earlier, but now he's made Watson pay it again for sleeping at the back and playing for the offside. And Bob there goes with a long ball earlier. So BDF is very intent now to keep ball possession, and that's making Watson pay a bit as they're starting to chase shadows behind the ball, and Best is challenged there for a long ball over the top, straight into Dorothy's hand. And Dorothy with a long ball back up field again. So Watson is not playing it out from the back as they started and now hitting the ball long. And BDF is very intent to keep ball possession, and Watson is paying daily for it now. So it looks like Watson is make a change there pretty early. Number 9 goes onto the field. As you can see, Jamar Springer, the fourth official there, signaling to the referee. This play continues. BDF in possession. But we are confirming a few who the players that just leave the field. It looks like an injury. So it's a next foul there by Watson. BDF plays the ball early. He was offside. So if you're just joining us here on the Island Sports Network and on the Trident Time broadcast, it's just 24 minutes past 4 in Barbados. It's 21 minutes into this game. We're in the 22nd minute of this clash between Watton FC and BDS Sports Program. BDS Sports Program leading 1-0. And to be fair, there should have been at least 2-0 up. But here they go, Best is fighting around and he's being pulled. Again, referee calls a foul. He and Baptiste was in a tussle. Somehow Baptiste doesn't want him to get away, but Best wasn't able to use his speed and strength to get away. Then no BDF is building again. Nice through ball again. A good save by Doherty. Long ball over the top. It's a foot race for the ball here. And that's pretty much like it's going to be a corner. See, he could juke there, you know, telling the players good work, good defending. You see where John Hawks were standing over the ball there for the corner. So he's been in the midst of things. That's like Darian King is heading over there for a short corner. Now change his mind. They're going to kick the ball into the box. So he has about 6 players to look for there from Wharton. And it just nodded away by the BDF player there. Goes out of throwing. So Wharton still in possession. Let's throw him back. Let's try to work the ball into the box. And the referee calls a foul. And earlier you could see Codrington pushing players off the ball, but no, he just gets a nod and he plays victim and earns a foul. So smart thinking by the defender there. Oh, nice footwork. And BDF is on the move again. Lose possession. Wharton gains possession back. So goes back into the midfield again. So lovely footwork from Darian King. Finds Bob. Bob again hits the ball over the top. It's another long ball. So he could juke now. Has possession. BDF seems to be settling for keeping possession of the football. Nice footwork there by Codrington again. So the BDF players more look like they're toying with these Wharton players now at this present moment. So that experience is showing. There's a lovely through ball there. So opportunity, and that's another brilliant save by Doherty. The BDF players not cashing in on their chances. And Wharton survives. So Wharton looks a bit lackluster as they're being beaten at least 3 times by some cheeky through balls from the BDF sports program players. They're showing their experience now, and Wharton have to deal with all the experience that's up there on the field at this present moment. So they need to either contain the score as much as possible and play brilliant football, but that looks like a foul. Baptiste and a player colliding there. It's like just outside the area, it looks like. Not sure if it's a penalty. The ref is calling for a stretcher. Let's hope the player's okay. I think the ref is looking for a card. And Baptiste could be in trouble. You've seen a lot of players this season receive yellow cards and red cards. And so hopefully the play is good. It looks like he's outside the box. And if he hasn't made his decision yet, he has the card in his hand. What will his decision be on the player that's being fouled? And yes, recall Baptiste receives the yellow card for that tussle there. Not sure exactly what happened. 2 players seem to collide. So BDS Sports program with a free credit. It's the 27 minutes of the game. Wharton down 1. And they're pretty much don't look like they are matching the BDF players at the present moment when it comes to keeping ball possession. And in terms of chances now, BDF seems to be the more dominant team. referee just there taking a moment, having a conversation. Some players in the box, and it's a long, it hits the top of the bar, and that's an effort free kick from Sargent. Usually you see him putting them directly on target, but that hits the top of the goal bar, and the score remains 1-0 to BDF. Walton playing some nice football to get the travel there. And it's a foul there by Trent King. BDF again forcing that through ball. Darcy cleans up and it's a long kick downfield. It's just over his Walton player's head. The ball goes out for a throw. BDF has possession again. Oh, that's a lovely turn. BDF keep possession. He continues forward. He's progressing, holds up play again. And O'Malley caught, he looks really, really dangerous when he's on the ball. Best slips. Good tackle there by Baptiste. So it's Keon Hart in there. Loses possession. BDF with it. Sargent. Again, the BDF players knocking this ball around. Keeping shape. BDF brings the ball around. They're keeping possession. As it's pass after pass, and now they're building. So the passes continue for BDF, and that's a good through ball again. And they're searching for those through balls for players. This time, this runs in the touch. And Baptiste watches it all the way to the touchline. Good defending from a good center back. But I guess he'll be a little annoyed of his defensive standard at the present moment. Because he has to marshal all these Walton defenders, to keep watching the runs out the BDF player. And there goes a next run out there, and the ball goes in the touch again. So they need to be wary of these wayward runs from the BDF sports program players when they're attacking. As you can see, the BDF coming into the middle a few times, and then they're using the wider outlets to get the ball into the playing area. But the player was offside. You can see them playing for that offside trap. And from time to time, it isn't working, so they really need to step out of the bat if they're going to contain BDF at this present moment. It's throwing to Wharton. As Bob takes the throwing. He sends him back. Those are the player. Still Wharton's ball. Well, he gets himself out of trouble, creates a bit of space for himself. Long searching ball forward. It's good covering there by the Wharton defender. Doherty hits long. Spot back into the attacking third by the BDS sports program players, and that's a throwing to Wharton. So we're just over the midway point in this first half, and in terms of possession wise, BDS Sports Program clearly dominating ball possession, but Wharton from time to time, they look good. It's a good attack, good through ball. Close up play, try to go around the player, but it's too close to the line. Watson in possession now with the ball. That's a foul. Leacock, that's on the ground. So Armani Leacock seems to be controlling a lot of the ball possession here for the BDF. He's putting a lot of strings for the midfield as well, including as building some attacks as a next long searching ball forward again. Watton equal to it. Sargent with a long shot outside the box. This is where it's not on target. It's not his best effort. Watton player goes down. Referee calls player back. So Watson, who started pretty strong in this game, lose possession is a counter attack here by BDF now. So we're saying Watson, who started pretty strong in the early exchanges of the match, has now eased up a bit. BDF is taking complete control of the first half so far, and they look comfortable. And they're, keeping shape, passing the ball around the park, and they're keeping possession. But you want most teams to keep on at the Wildy turf here, as the turf is in excellent condition. It's a long ball and a nice back down, and that's 2-0. Easy. Best gets his third attempt, second goal for the evening, and BDF is all over these Watton players. The back four is really not stepping up. Back four is really not stepping up from Watton here, and that's his second opportunity that they let slip by their graphs. I know BDF leads 2-0. So Watton is front touch off there, just pass the ball out. Player tossing it for the ball. Watton back in possession. And that's Baptiste there, lovely pass. He loses the ball. That's like Keon Harding has made a nets mistake there, but the ball goes right through the Doherty. Doherty with a long throw there to the left back player. Again, Keon Harding on the ball. Keon Harding makes a nice complete pass. Then they go along and lose possession once more. Baptiste hands is up in the air. He doesn't look too happy. BDF has possession. Yes, slows the pace down again. It's a searching ball there for the BDF player. Doesn't get to it. Wharton player gets to it first as Bob who dispossessed him. And this was a good interception. Now it's a next long ball forward from Wharton. And again, the experience of Codrington there showing again for the BDF players as the Wharton player couldn't get around him, so he could juke passes it out wide. They keep possession and build it out from the back. Baptiste in possession now for Wharton. Finds Darian King. Sean Hawksworth. John Hawksworth back to Bob. Brown Prasad. King. King goes down. BDF wins possession. Referee has nothing to do with that foul. It's a long ball forward and that goes out in the touch. And Wharton wins possession back. So when Wharton has the ball and they look promising, they're just losing possession. I think it's one pass too many, and if it's one pass too many, it's the wrong pass at the final turn. Now they're in possession again. Now they're counter. It's 4 versus 3. Ball is out to Wayne. He takes a long shot so he could juke. It's a easy, simple catch for Juke, who looks comfortable. Doesn't look too threatening. And now BDF on the counter. Long ball forward again. Over the top. One of the defense has to deal with these long balls, and that's a foul. And that's a yellow card. And let's say Oman Ellicott would have received a yellow card for that foul. But Oman Ellicott has a knack for receiving cards in matches from time to time. So he's on ice now. He needs to be very careful. Still the first half. There's about 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time in this first half. If we're deep into the first half of this game, BDS Sports Program 2, Wharton FC 0. Crowd is quietly building there on the far side in the stands. Still pretty early here, as this is the first game of 3 in this triple header. Wharton with a throw. Bob again, Baptiste. Okay, let's say Baptiste sort of a long ball over the top. Wharton possession. Round side takes it around. So Wharton looking to keep the ball now in these dire moments in the first half. Next search, long searching ball forward. Well defended by BDF. Two players tussling for the ball. Pretty much good defending. There's Rashad Smith there with a throw. Finds Hakeem Hill. Wharton Baptiste there with a nice ball through the middle. It's a foul on BDF player. Sergeant. His best losing his foot in there, and looks like Keon Harding passes the ball. Baptiste. Searching ball, it's a foul. Baptiste wins a free kick for Wharton in the middle of the park. There you go, see Sergeant telling his defenders to be wary. Don't elapse at this stage. About 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this first half. So Baptiste is playing just in front of Rico Ford and Keon Harden. His ball goes through to Sahika Juke. And Sahika Juke is starting for the first time for the season as Primus is out injured. Not sure how lengthy the injury would be, but hopefully we see Primus back between the goals. As we know, he's one of Barbados' national goalkeepers as well. So well, Watson building, Watson with opportunity here. Player goes out wide, and it looks like a deflection and a good save off the goal line. And that could have been a save off the goal line there, and it could have been a chance for Watson as the ball deflected after ball was deflected after John Hotspur took a shot. It deflected off a BDF Sports Program defender, but it was well cleared off the line there. So BDF, keeps their clean sheet intact so far for this first half. Watson in possession again. And that's forward all the way back to Doherty. Doherty with a long ball in the middle of the park. Again, Watson on the attack here again. Long shot just wide coming off a BDF player. Sekijuk cleans up. He settled things down. And much of the madness that was going on there earlier from that shot, they're looking to preserve this clean sheet going into halftime, but less than a minute left of normal time plus stoppages will be happening. The ball is baton. Doherty's there to clean up. So Bessel's been having a really good game there, is finding himself in good positions, making good runs. He's making the Watson defense work, but there's a lovely ball from Bob upfield, and it's a wayward pass to straight to a BDF player in the box. As Hotworth doesn't find a Watson player in a blue shirt. Again, BDF slowing the play down in the middle of the park. So BDF player has a lot of time on the ball and pick who he wants to pass to again. Akeem Hill. Shad Smith. That was a wayward pass there from Ronaldo Trim. Ronaldo Trim was looking either for Sargent at the moment, but instead it was Akeem Brown in that attacking position going down the right side. Here's Smith with a throw. Again, that's Brown fighting, and that ball goes out. Watson with possession now. Straight to Baptiste. Long ball forward. And with the 1 minute of stoppage time added on, it's just pass, and the referee blows the whistle for halftime. BDS Sports Program 2, Watson at halftime. Has been a very, very entertaining first half, and BDF taking the opportunity of their chances at the present moment. Their lead to some lackluster defending from Watson, who find themselves giving up space at the back and Best making them pay. It should have been 3, but unfortunately Best blasted over the bar early, and now Watson is under the cushion of this match as they have to defend for most of the first half. Now we'll be back shortly after these commercial breaks for the second half action here from the Wildy Turf.
That's here for Limmerfield. Here to Halligan. Here to Halligan!
The Lord was ball and finished for sure.
This is tactical stuff that was practiced at the training ground.
BDF going forward. Shot comes in, goal number 2. That is out of the top drawer. Ronaldo Messi.
Football far side. Can't hit. Goal! Rantes. Lawrence puts the ball into the back of the net.
When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. With a bunch in 3-0, Wendy are some Johnny Walker. Pick up our drinkers in at this place right now. I got all on a yellow wine while I'm drinking some fire water. Energy got me feeling so high. And I feel
That's there for Lemmerville. Hit a Holligan. Hit a Holligan!
The Lord,
Was ball and finished for sure.
this is tactical stuff that was practiced at the training ground. PDF going forward. Shot comes in, goal number 2. That is out of the top drawer. Ronaldo, Messi.
Football far side. Can't hit. Goal! Rantes. Lawrence puts the ball into the back of the net.
All right, we are here at halftime, and Watton is down 2 goals to 0 versus BDS Sports Program at the present moment. Halftime is just gone. You saw the first half highlights earlier, and in yesterday's results, we had Weymouth Wales losing to St Andrew Lions in the opening game, 3 goals to 2. We have some of those highlights for you as well. And also in the second game, we had UWI and Notre Dame drawing 2-2. So we had some pretty mixed results yesterday, with the league leaders losing to St Andrew Lions, who's sitting near the bottom of the table. But we will see how those games go. So we'll take another commercial break and be right back.
There for Weymouth Vale. Hit a Holligan. Hit a Holligan.
The Lord was ball and finished for sure. This is tactical stuff that was practiced at the training ground. PDF going forward. Shot comes in, goal number 2. That is out of the top drawer. Ronaldo, Messi.
One front side. Shot hit. Goal! Rantes. Lawrence puts the ball into the back of the net.
When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. With a bunch in 3-0, when we are some Johnny Walker. Pick up our drinkers in at this place right now. I got all of that yellow wine while I'm drinking some fire water. Energy got me feeling so high.
From the Willie Turf in Barbados on the Trading Tank TV network. And if you're viewing here on islandsports.net, the second half has started back with BDS Sports Program leading Watton FC 2 goals to 0. And I have joining me for the second half of this commentary, Jamal Slocum. So how are you doing, Jamal? Welcome, Jamal.
I am doing really well. How are you doing, Jason? It's an interesting game before us here this evening. We think that clinical playing of the BDF has augured well for them once more. Excellent save there by the keeper of Wharton. But Wharton definitely has some catching up to do here on the field this evening. I don't think they were as tactical as their previous games. BDF has definitely out-edged them here at the Wildy Turf.
Yeah, so come here, definitely correct. And there's BDF's on the attack straight away in the second half from the start, and you know, Wharton is behind the 8 ball again.
Well, I think, Jason, that what we saw here this evening in the first half is that the game started out at a really fast pace. I'm seeing a similar trait here for the second half, but it's the question, will they be able to maintain it? Because Wharton seems to have a challenge right now with maintaining the pace of the game, while BDF is rather consistent throughout.
Yeah, and they're very consistent. You're very correct, because as you could see from the first half, BDF was passing the ball to feet, and they were keeping the ball, they were holding shape very well, and they're showing the experience versus a freshwater team who just came out to the Premier League for the first time this year.
I mean, what Wharton does have on BDF here this evening is that a lot of their players have been consistently training, and that's from all accounts. But when you think of BDF is a team of itself that is a program, it's set up, the system that they're working on actually allows them to be consistently training, consistently being on their best game. So BDF starts out at an advantage, and they're maintaining that advantage, and they're showing exactly why they're one of the leading teams in the Premier League so far for the season.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with you, I mean, they're playing really good football, the BDS sports program throughout the season. I mean, they've drawn a few matches this season, but you will start to think where the season is still fairly new, that it still has a long way to go, still at least 14 or so more rounds remaining, that they will pick up the pace and play a lot of football.
I think there's Akeem Hill from BDF sports program that just had an injury.
Yes.
And he's actually off the field at the present.
Alright, do you have possession going to Wharton's way, and there with a throwing there on the far side again?
Where with John Hawksworth.
Again, they're, you know, losing possession to BDF, but the ball goes out. They still have possession to the throw, and we see it from time to time. Wharton have given possession away when they have like pretty long spells of possession, and after the ball is in the middle of the park given away. Here is BDF now trying again. The ball goes in the touch once more.
Jason, do you think there's a chance that Wharton is anxious, or they're somewhat intimidated by his speed and the tactical playing of BDF?
It more looks like intimidation to me, Slocum, to be quite honest. It looks like intimidation. Here's a long ball over the top, and
taking a chance.
Yeah, Doughty is off his lane pretty early here. Again, he's cleared this one, but BDF holds up. This is a throwing.
I think one of the most phenomenal assets that Wharton has.
Yeah, it looks like a referee blows for a foul there. That's an Oman, and he caught, you know, getting himself in trouble there, pulling Bob.
As I was saying earlier, I think that the goalkeeper for Wharton has augured well for the team this evening. I think despite he has some great challenge, he has still been able to maintain his composure throughout the game.
Yeah, he's been able to keep, you know, the goal limit down, because we saw that BDF had a few chances that he's pulled off brilliant saves from it. Here's the BDF on the attack again.
Taking a chance, and once again another save.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty good job. So, you know, Wharton defense really need to come to the party, and they need to step up. I mean, although we have Rico Baptiste there, and you can see where Rico Baptiste is now, they're on their left side. And he's more, you know, going on attacks rather than, you know, staying as a central defensive midfielder or one of the front stoppers and keep his team in shape. But again, they have to deal with the experience of the soldiers, and the BDS sports program boys are pretty doing excellent stuff at the present moment. There goes Bob on the right side now, making an attack. He makes a good move, good footwork, tries to go past two, doesn't succeed, and the ball goes in a touch.
And once again, we recognize that Wharton is actually being prohibited at each point from actually making a chance to strike. And their defense has been the one working very hard this evening, but they have not been able to really maintain it. Darian King there lost possession of the ball. Once again, they're struggling again to maintain possession of the ball. But you can see they're definitely fighting hard as much in this second half, more so with a refocused mind, each of the players from Wharton especially in this second half. And the BDF guys are still maintaining that those clinical tactics. They're still consistently maintaining the possession of the ball, and that is what is the key factor that is leading or giving BDF the advantage here in this game.
Yeah, BDF is taking full advantage of, you know, the loose possession that Wharton is being given away at this present moment. Here is Wharton going in the attack. That looks like Hawksworth there losing possession, and from time to time you see when BDF wins the ball back and they're slowing the pace down. Here is Sargent there tussling. This looks like Darian King here in the corner. Wharton with a chance. Now they're stopped again, and that's Smith winning possession. He comes out there to Sargent. Sargent collects ball. He's advancing forward, looking for a player, makes a decent pass. And you can see BDF is keeping possession. Here is Wharton on the attack again. Player goes down. Sikiju referee blows for a foul. But Sikiju was fast and he was adequate up to the task for this one. Smith to Codrington. They played the free kick pretty early. But yeah, as you were saying, Slocum, BDF has been showing their powers and their strength and their experience throughout the entire first half. I know the second half has started. You've seen him doing the same thing. Here is Ronaldo Trim slowing the ball down again, looking for a player. He makes a very simple pass there. Again, that's on my
referee calls a foul.
Yeah,
as expected. And I think the Wharton players at this time are very uneasy. They know that they have a lot of making up to do, so they're actually working extra hard.
Yeah, they have to work extremely hard. But one player from the BDS Sports program who hasn't really been in much of the activities in the first half is Rashad Jules. To be quite honest, it's a long ball over the top there again. And the Wharton player loses the ball, but it looks like it came off a BDF player. He wins the throwing. But I was saying, yes, Jules now receiving a yellow card. That's there. Correct. For a foul earlier, as the referee goes back to give him a yellow card. But it's quite convincing that he wasn't involved in a lot of the play in the first half. He was just, you know, going in midfield, collecting the ball, passing the ball around. He wasn't really involved in much of the attacks. He's been pretty quiet. So Wharton needs to be wary of him for the second half. If he has the potential to score goals, he has goals already for the season. So we're still waiting to see what is happening. If you realize their best has pretty much not in the attack on the field at this present moment, as the BDF would have made an early change. So it's tough to see what Wharton will do with possession right now, as this is one of their best chances for the match so far.
And it's but the defense once again for BDF. I think what we've realized here this evening that BDF has been able to strengthen their team across the field, strengthen all positions. I don't know if I can fairly say I've watched almost 90% of the games this season. I think it's a fair assessment to say that this isn't the strongest game by far from Wharton. Wharton has been very clinical for this season so far. They have both their defense and their strike their attack has been very strong for the season thus far. But I find that they just seem intimidated by the BDF players this evening. I'm not sure if it is because we are now seeing Wharton, who has been at the forefront for the season, and BDF, which is a team that has consistently been in the forefront of football or the Premier League of Barbados. And we are now seeing these two teams playing together. It was almost near taken, but once again, Wharton's keeper consistently being the saver of the game here this evening. Would you think that's a fair statement, Jason?
So yes, in fact, it's a fair statement. As Paul Doughty, he has been very instrumental throughout this match so far. and come up with some very brilliant saves. It's a foul BDF, and there's a net searching pass into the box that Watson was able to clear away. But then when you see when they're going to the attack, they're not keeping possession of the ball. Ball goes straight back to BDS Sports Program, who's not building another attack there. And that looks like Akeem Hill there, and that looks like
over the top.
That looks like Jules that just blasted over the top there. And again, you see you can't keep him out of the game because you see the ball lands straight from. So
BDF is about to make a switch. I think Kemar John is about to come back on the field. We recognized he had a slight injury earlier.
He's not going on for the first time. It's Brown who's actually coming off. Brown who had the knock earlier. Brown is actually coming off. Akeem Brown, if you're certain, number 13. So that's the next ball. Darian King, they're challenging for it, but the BDF player remains it. And they're giving possession away, and it's a heavy touch there by Rashad Jules there. Here's ball one possession for Wharton. Nice King for searching ball, and it's back in midfield again. It's a bit of back and forth here between players. BDS Sports Program in possession again. So he could do it with the ball now. Goes back over to Shane Codrington. Back to Duke. They're keeping shape, keeping possession. Having the Wharton players questioning, but it was a wayward pass.
You can see the Wharton players are once again very uneasy.
So it's trying ball from Darian King and stepping into play again. Baptiste on the ball. Crossing to the box, nodded away. O'Malley caught coming back there in the possession. Ball goes away. This effort stopped by Wharton. Want to keep position. The Wharton player is still on the ground. He made a challenge earlier, but he's still down. And they're now stop play. The referee there's calling for the medics to come on the field.
What I've recognized, however, Jason, number 11, Joshua Rose for BDF. Very talented player. We haven't seen him in this lineup so far for today.
He's on the field now. We'll be able to see what he's capable of. If it's his first run out for the season, whether it's his second run out for the season.
That's right.
The BDF have been rotating a lot of their players, and I mean, Coach Aswif Hamlet, he's been doing a really good job at the BDS Sports Program for a good few years now, and he's kept this team healthy. And the program they have there, they have a professional setup, as we would call in Barbados. One of the more professional teams in Barbados. So hopefully they can keep showing the professionalism. There's Darian King now with that attack,
taking the opportunity, and he feels.
Yeah, Duke was up to the task. Duke was up to the task though.
I think it was too late on the opportunity to take that opportunity when he had a chance earlier. Darian, as we know, is one of Barbados' most outstanding athletes entirely, but I think that he should have taken that chance a little earlier. I think when sometimes we anticipate too much the strike, we actually fail, but the ball is back on.
Over the top into the box. Long ball, well defended. Baptiste with a
by
shot.
Kemar John.
Yeah, and that's Baptiste there getting a opportunity there to get Wharton back in the game, but was it successful again? Long ball up the field from Codrington. There we go. Jules' first touch was a little bit too heavy, but plays being stopped follow while BDF player is down. That looks like Codrington who's down at this present moment. So nothing doing here by the BDF players. The BDF players, they're holding on right now after the first off play is gone, it's just over the 60th minute, going in the 61st minute, and BDF is looking very comfortable at this present moment. Wharton is a lot too threatening, as they know they had a chance earlier there, and again, as you said, Darian, failed to get off a proper shot.
I think what we saw earlier in this season is Hawksworth in specific. A very talented footballer. He has gone beyond Barbados. He actually played on the junior team for the national team. But in comparison to other games, I don't think that we've seen as a tactical performance from Hawksworth this evening. And even Darian has been really putting in the work this evening for the Wharton team. But we have not seen that consistency across the field for Wharton versus BDF, where you can see entirely that the team is an effort entirely from the team, where it is a balance more so across from all the players. They're ahead, they're tactical, they're focused, and they're ready for each and every single opportunity that they get, versus Wharton, where we can see that they are really playing catch up here this evening.
Yeah, they're already playing catch up, and I mean, from as you said earlier, they started the season very well, very high up team, and they look like a team who has been freshly promoted. They came up from first division. They look very, very poised, to upset a lot of these Premier League teams who were around for a while, and they started the season very well. But now, coming up against a more experienced Premier League team is telling on them. I'm not sure if the players are actually mentally fit for this type of football as well, but they would have had an entire year from last season to prepare for it. They're here now, you understand? So it's just a matter of them playing the adequate football to match a lot of these Premier League teams.
Balls up. One thing I've recognized, Jason, is that one thing that we have a challenge with is that some of our players actually only join Wharton at the latter stage of registration, whereas when we look at BDF, these are players that have been training all year long, and even if there were a few switches versus BDF has been a team that is consistently training. They are constantly going through the process, not only physical training but mental training. And as you rightfully said earlier, the question is Wharton mentally prepared? We recognize that there will be squabbles on the field and there will be points of banter between the players, but I think that we've seen a frantic approach almost like from Wharton here this evening, and it is not consistent with what we've seen throughout the season from Wharton. Wharton so far has shown much more tactical skills. They have been much more consistent. They have been much more clinical. And I think this is a shocker for me, Jason.
Yeah, you're correct on what you're saying there too, because like two of the changes we have seen, I've seen like a registration on their list. They have like the young guy Akil Comerbatch, who would have played inside the Capelli Cup there. That's brilliant skill there again from the BDF player there to undone the Wharton player. Now there's a long ball searching. Paul Dalty is there early, to intercept the play. But as I said, yeah, with the changes you've seen, like the likes of Enrico Kiev coming into the team, correct. He's not starting here this evening. We're not sure what's his situation, but again, we've seen a lot of changes within the Wharton team from the Capelli Cup to the Premier League this season. So I'm not sure if that is the cause for the mental aspect of the team, or if they now have to get a few more games together as a unit to gel together. And
I think that is one of the greater challenges that we find, Jason, that most of our players don't have the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the skill sets and the techniques of fellow players. I think that Doughty, once again, the outstanding player from Wharton, the keeper from Wharton, who seems to be consistently saving Wharton in each and every game, because what we're seeing here, BDF is taking the attack very serious each and every time they have an opportunity. Doughty comes to save, and we would realize more goals. I think those two goals that we would have recognized earlier, Doughty once again.
Yeah, this thing it's there with
it's almost like the defense isn't working as strong here for Wharton this evening.
Yeah, so every attack that the BDF gets, just now in the last 2 minutes. So there goes Oman Leacock. Brilliant skill again. And this is Oman Leacock. Ball across goal, and he misses the opportunity. That was not what we expected there. That should have been 3-0. And that was Akeem Hill, who was right there at the doorstep. And that was a brilliant ball there. That was brilliant football there by Oman Leacock. But again, you see Doughty standing big, showing himself up, causing, and putting off the player.
It is sign that this evening that the defense of Wharton definitely needs to be re-examined, especially if they're going to go forward in this season for Premier League, the Coca-Cola Premier League. It is not what is tradition for Wharton, what we've seen so far for the season. But Wharton is definitely, we cannot discount the fact that Wharton is fighting back. They know that they have some making up to do, and they're consistently fighting back. And I think that is what has really blocked BDF from taking a third goal here in the second half of this game.
Yeah, they're working hard at the present moment, and they're looking for a goal to get back in the game. Here's a substitution here, and we have number 3 from Wharton coming off. And then we have
number 3, Deshaun Bob, that is.
Deshaun Bob steps off, and number 7 going on. It looks like St. Hill. I'm pretty much sure it's St. Hill that just took the field, if I'm correct.
Marco St. Hill?
So we will see if it's St. Hill. It looks like St. Hill that's on the field. That would have just been on to replace Deshaun Bob. 2 similar players, and St. Hill, who would have we've known for last season or so, playing with a different team. I think he was playing with Notre Dame, and he's been a very, very good player. He's also played with the national junior squad as well. So again, Wharton have talent within their ranks, but it's not showing today. You only have like 2 or 3 players stepping up to the plate. Here's Wharton St. Hill straight away as he comes on the attack there down the left side.
And BDF defense once again strong as ever, consistently taking. Hawksworth takes a grab.
It's a brilliant save by Duke. And Sehika Duke has, he's been up to the task all game. So again, with the injury of Primus, Sehika Duke will be looking to be a mainstay and keep himself in the starting lineup for BDF. And he looks like, he's up for the task, and so far he's been doing a really good job. So BDF on the attack again, keeping possession. Oman Leacock very instrumental here. And there they go down the left hand side on this side of the field. Yeah, it's the 69th minute of the game, and as you can see, I see they're pointing out the time there. So it looks like time is just ticking away from Wharton, and they need to get a goal now if they're going to get back in this game. Because I think getting a goal will definitely change the momentum of this match right now. Next long ball forward from Wharton. That's just a foul there from the player. The referee is giving talking to, and there goes a yellow card.
I think one thing that we saw when Marco St. Hill emerged on the field is that his energy versus, you can see that the Wharton players are somewhat tired at this point. They're not giving up hope. They're at least hoping that they can at least get 1 point out of this game. We've seen a tremendous lead, 2 towards BDF. But it seems that Wharton is actually still consistently trying to regain, at least to equate to what BDF has taken advantage on this evening. And that's definitely a foul.
Yeah, that's definitely a foul there. And the referee is over here. Kimar John.
The Zico Phillips that would have...
Kimar John received a yellow card earlier, and the referee has just flashed a red card. Not sure exactly who would have gotten the red card there, but the player seems to be down in agony, and unfortunately,
Sent Zico John in the air.
But yeah, Zico John is pretty much, you know, someone is doing agony there.
We know that I think that's Javon Austin on the ground presently. A soldier is definitely down here this evening, Jason.
Yeah, a wounded soldier too. And they're going to be down to 10 men. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there with the player. I'm just trying to figure out what is happening there. The fourth official is calling the medics and the medical team to head over there to the player. But a red card was shown to the BDF player. He's off the field regardless, but we are not sure exactly what's the extent of the red card. And it looks like Javon Austin.
I actually think that is two from, yes, Javon Austin from BDF.
So it's pretty unfortunate there of what happened to him there. We've seen him receiving medical assistance to far left of the screen.
I think what we've recognized is that Wotton is anxious at this point. Wotton is begging for an opportunity or taking any opportunity that they can get to actually take a goal. And sometimes, you know, that whilst these accidents are not intentional, they can be avoided simply if teams make more tactical or more clinical approaches when they're trying to get possession to the ball. So it's definitely down. The ball is back on. Play ball.
So it definitely is. There goes John and next BDF player tussling for the ball, but that seems to be trimmed there earlier, and John tussling for the ball again. So BDF down to 10 men at this present stage. They're up 2-0. It's the 73rd minute of the match.
That's correct.
And we could almost think that the momentum is going to be swinging in Wotton's favor. They need to start building attacks there. You can see they're looking to press, and they're pressing. They started already, and they're using the man advantage early.
And Hawksworth now trying to take any opportunity. He's trying to hustle his way through, but he has not been able to take that opportunity at all.
Yeah, so with the man advantage, Wotton would definitely want to be on strike, but that's a long ball out from the back there, BDF. The possession retains by Wotton. There goes BDF countering now. Oh, that's offside. Linesman had his flag up there on the far side. And that's Jules, whose run has been halted. It could have been a pretty close offside there, but the linesman had his flag up.
I think the switch from Marco St. Hill should have been made earlier. Marco, with his previous team, Notre Dame, I believe it was a very tactical player. He possesses a skill set that most players can only look to achieve. Marco would have actually come onto the field, and you see a difference in approach from the Wotton team. But I can again say that whilst we look at Darian King and Rajon Hawksworth, we can also see that they have been struggling this game to actually go forward, and this is something that we haven't seen from Wotton so far for the season. I think what is the difference here this evening is that they're playing against a more clinical team. BDF has definitely proven time and time again that they know, and they are consistently the team training. They're the team that is not only physically but mentally prepared.
Yeah, and BDF is mentally prepared for this because they need wins. And with last night's results, Weymouth Wales, who was sitting on top of the table pretty decent there all alone early in the season, had lost to St. Andrew Lions. So BDF would want to win to keep pace with their rivals in this season, and Wharton here would need points to stay just afloat up there in the title hunt as well. But you know, this is the case now where you meet a good team, you got to play good football to get the result. There's Marco St. Hill on the ball.
There you go again. And he's constantly after the ball. Hawksworth coming in to save. But BDF once again taking the opportunity. Possession of the ball. We've never seen, in terms of BDF, maintaining possession throughout a game consistently like this. They have definitely presented an obstacle for Wharton throughout this game.
Yeah,
and I think Wharton at this point, Jason, is just playing it by ear. I think they have somewhat lost a strategy or lost an approach that they can actually secure a goal, at least one goal. And for me now, I think that Wharton has now to leave this game this evening with a thinking that they definitely have to step up the game, not only from the physical aspects of training, but to be psychologically ready when they come on the Wildy turf.
Yeah, you have to be psychologically ready for any team, especially when you're coming up against giants like BDS Sports Program, and you still have Wales still to play and stuff. And then there's the likes of St. Andrew Lance, who's around for at least 2 or so seasons now. You got Ellerton, teams who have made a name for themselves within the Premier League. So you got to be ready. You just come up from First Division, and you started well against opposition, you know, who's lackluster, but you know, in this particular Premier League this season, this Coca-Cola BFA Premier League, this season has shown that don't matter how good you are, you could lose to an opponent if the opponent stick to the tactics and play good football.
I think Wharton was banking on the fact that last evening Weymouth Wales, one of the outstanding teams in this Premier League, that they would have been able to conquer the Barbados Defence Force Sports Program in a similar feat, but that wasn't quite the case here this evening.
No, it's not the case when it comes to a game with the Soldiers. The Soldiers tend to stamp the authority, and I mean literally stamp the authority. Currently, they would have stamped the authority because early in the first half, within the first 7 minutes of the game, Wharton had control of the match.
That's
and then
correct.
After that, it was all BDS Sports Program from there. And believe it or not, the score should have been at least 3-0 or 4, as we should have seen, because there were 2 key opportunities that went a begging from the BDF. We saw Best miss one in the first half, blazing over the crossbar as he get a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper, and then we saw Akeem Hill with a next one-on-one opportunity again, and Doughty was able to follow him from scoring. So again, Paul Doughty has been, you know, very instrumental in this match, and he's keep Wharton in the game. But again, Wharton doesn't look like they are going to penetrate, and when they do look like they're going to penetrate in the final third, they're not very, 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 how to put it, they're not very good at executing what they're doing, because we saw again Darian King had an opportunity to say he should have pulled the trigger a little earlier. So they're going to be a little more clinical with their passes and shooting at on goal.
Well, Jason, I think that Marcos and Hill is definitely going to be the window of opportunity here for Wharton, especially with 10 minutes to go, just coming up within this game before we reach the 90-minute mark. An opportunity there, but once again, way over the bar.
Yep, and that's Baptiste there, you know, laying off a good pass to his opponent.
And I think sometime Wharton has gotten too anxious within this game. They've anticipated the ball. We sometimes seen the ball directly pass right before Wharton players. We've seen that here with Darian. We've seen that here with Kemar John, but we've not actually had they have not had a clear opportunity other than Darian earlier this evening to actually take a clear shot.
No, and the chances are not that very clear cut. As we can see, you know, BDF, did you mention BDF has been very strong defensively throughout this match. There you go, you see St. Hill again slowing possession down, passing the ball. This thing he loses possession now to where the pass and see Paul Doughty again, as you mentioned, he's very instrumental there, working the ball around, he's keeping them in the game, but Wharton again has not been very clinical. I mean their pass accuracy has not been too accurate, but in terms of building possession, the man advantage had literally helped a lot so far, and that's another shot block. It's about 9 minutes remaining in this first half.
Second half.
Second half, sorry. Got me thinking, see the game is going on so long, we want to see more action here.
Jason right beside us is a legend now. I think, you know, when we think of one of the most outstanding, Darian King once again, and he's down.
And there's a penalty.
It is a penalty.
Yeah, the referee calls a penalty. And that's a little lackluster there for the BDF players. A little lackluster. I mean, they've been very brilliant defensively all game. Now we've seen them, but throughout the season we've seen BDF concede goals. We know Wharton have goals in them, but usually from direct play we will see Wharton score goals. But now they're kicking from the penalty spot. This should be an opportunity here for them to test the Hikaju.
Well, you know, anything could happen in football. In the last couple of seconds in football, we've seen some interesting plays. Now that we are at the 8-minute window in this game, can they even call a draw here, Jason? Do you think it is even possible?
Well, anything is possible in the BFA Premier League. Anything is possible. If last week's results, William Fields losing to St. Andrews, anything is possible. But believe it or not, William Fields were leading 2-0 within the first 10 minutes of the game. And just before halftime, St. Andrews would have scored, and then the scoreline went halftime that way. And then in the second half, St. Andrews opened the scoring early in the second half, and it was 2-0. Here's Hawksworth. Duke with a save, and that's a brilliant save by Hikaju, as John Hawksworth failed to put his team back into the game here. Now the BDF is going to be up for this because they're playing with 10 men, and Hikaju has just pulled off a brilliant save here. Now they're counting.
I think
they were shot by one man caught.
I think that you can see the demeanor of each player when that opportunity was lost by Hawksworth, and I think it also it speaks to the familiarity with the players. You sometimes see in each game that you see that sometimes that Wharton is not as clear in their approach. We've seen them tamper around the ball constantly in the games, and I didn't think that they would have chosen Hawksworth to go forward on that one.
It was a very interesting choice for he to take the penalty, but he's usually very accurate from the spot. It's not normal that he gets saves from the penalty spot, but he's been saved this time, and with an opportunity like that, that should have been taken.
I personally would have gone with Marco Sandhill from Wharton on that opportunity. I think he is definitely hungry. He came on the field. You can see a different approach versus all the other players from Wharton. Despite Kemar John and Darian King are constantly fighting back, I think that Marco would have been the individual. A freshman, he only came on the couple minutes after the second half would have started, versus Hawksworth and King, who would have been on from the start here this evening at the Wildy Turf.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, St. Hill has a very good skill set. He should have been one up to take the pen. Even Rico Baptiste himself, we've known taking opportunities here.
And BDF is going to take an opportunity, and it's over high.
Yeah, and that's just over. And as you mentioned, anyone could have taken that penalty, including Marco St. Hill. He should have been one that should have been selected because Hawksworth wasn't really in the game. He was not in much form. But they stick with their guns. They stick with their plans. They went ahead and it failed. So now they have to really go back to the drawing board now and work their way into this match, although they are a man up in this game.
And I just want you to note, Jason, this is nowhere to discount the talent and the wealth of a talent that Hawksworth is. We've seen Hawksworth score multiple goals so far for the season. He has been one of the more tactical and clinical players for Wharton so far for the season. But the reality is some days we have good days and others are bad days.
Yep. And you're correct, Slocum. And I mean, it's a pleasure having you, analyzing this situation here. And as you mentioned, you're putting your skills into play here by, analyzing certain players and what they're doing and stuff. And as you said, you watch a lot of the football this season. I've been here majority this season as well. We've seen at least 90% of the football. When it comes to on the broadcast, we've seen Wharton played a lot of decent football this season, and tonight is not the ideal night for them to lose an opportunity. They say it goes a net substitution here for the Barbados Defence Force, and it looks like number 8 is coming out, number 26 going in. It looks like Jules is actually coming out here, making way for Stefan Elliott.
That's correct.
And there you see Watson setting up the wall here. Paul Doughty is very instrumental back there, standing in Spurs what to do. The captain, Rico Baptiste, has just joined him. So it's a 4-man wall, and it looks like Trim who's standing over the ball there.
What an interesting game this is, Jason.
It's very interesting because BDF is down to 10 men for the last 17 minutes, and Wharton really should have at least made a vanish count, and that is
and I don't know where the attempt I don't know what was the aim there for that, where he was actually trying to shoot that ball.
Yeah, it was heavyweight and handsome, right? But not so handsome any long run. I mean, they should have been at least on goal.
I thought that ultimately here that Wharton should have had more possession of the ball, especially when BDF has lost a player early on. And ultimately what we should have seen here is that BDF should have been fighting after they lost that player.
Yeah, but no, they are in control. And then the chances, as we can see there, Darian King and Kimar John teaming up, and there for a shot, the striker there as well, laying off a good back heel and stuff, but it was blasted over the goal bar again. So they're not very clinical, and for this game so far, it's been a situation where it's been men versus boys in a sense in terms of possession.
Jason, I beg to differ on that point. I think that what we've seen here in this game in specific is that Wharton, who recently was promoted from the first division, the team of BDF, strong, clinical. They're both mentally and physically ready for the game. In terms of their level of training, they're more consistent. It just leaves for Wharton to go back to the drawing board and recognize what was the fault here this evening. And I think one of those faults was that they weren't able to maintain the possession of the ball.
Yeah, they weren't able to maintain the possession. And I mean, one positive so far that they can take away from this game, that at periods of the game they can say they were able to match BDF in terms of possession wise, in a sense, like in the middle of the park where you saw Darian King and Rico Baptiste teaming up, holding possession, passing the ball around. What they can also say that they have matched BDF is where they were able to keep the scoring rate down, because usually in a situation as BDF would have done run away at least 5-0 or so in a situation like this.
I think the defense here for Wharton also was one of the fates of the team. Despite the attempts of Hawksworth and Kimar John and Darian King before Marco St. Hill made his debut on the field this evening, the defense of Wharton would have been one of the failures here for them for this game here at the Wildy Turf.
Yeah, the defense wasn't up to the task, as the first 2 goals that would have scored for BDF. It's no, time's almost expired. It's a 90th minute, and we just have stoppage time remaining, a couple seconds remaining in this first half in the normal time. But we saw them playing for the offside rule, the offside trap, and it didn't work. And BDF were able to sneak through at least twice. And but there's goes the next opportunity again.
Marco St. Hill
Yeah.
definitely has some speed, but was that speed enough?
Yeah, and it's 3 minutes of injury time added by the fourth official. So is this a situation and a matter of here goes Doughty's out all this goal line here, and that again, the clinicalness of the BDF, they made a mistake at the back. Again, they're not defenders. You mentioned about Watson's defense again. Now they've conceded third goal, and it's 3-0 to BDF Sports Program.
I think the emotions is filled within the hearts of Watton here this evening. They know that they slipped up in some areas. You can see that the expression on the faces of all the players. But really and truly, I can say that I don't want to put all the blame on one section of the team, but you can definitely tell that the defense here for Watton has not been playing. They have been playing more so with the body and not so with their mind this evening.
Yeah, so, manager Glenn Gibson, he definitely has to go back to the drawing board after this game today for Watton, and he needs to just take away the positives from this match and, work on seeing what he can do. Here's Watton with a chance. St. Hill. He's
ball taken away from him.
Yeah, again.
Darian King once again. You can see the lackluster attitude that has now been adopted in the players from Watton. It is almost like they have given up hope, and the reality is sometimes you have to play football and not let football play you. That's the difference here.
Yeah, you're so correct. And you can see the body language from Khalid Hill from Watton. He's wearing the number 9 jersey tonight, and he's been there just being an extra player on the field. He hasn't done much work. He hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities, and when he did get his opportunities, he didn't take them very cleanly. So it doesn't matter. Here's Baptiste with a long shot to juke, and that's just
and
wide.
It's on the above side once again. Too wide of a shot. Well, Jason, I think that this has been a very interesting game. As the sun sets here on the Wildy turf, I can say that Watton definitely will go home very disappointed. I think that BDF really has some work to do in terms of their overall approach. One thing that I can say is that they have maintained possession of the ball constantly throughout this game. Excellent passes. We've seen an extremely strong defense from BDF. We've seen their attack was constantly working here this evening. Watton, I can say that their defense struggled this evening tremendously. Their keeper worked extremely hard, despite some goals, 3 goals, and I think the latter goal was by fault of his own, simply because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and there goes BDF again. They're looking to, add more injury to insult than it's been. They're playing with 10 men, and they've looked very, very departed. But that is the final whistle here, Jamal Slocum. From this first game, Watton 0, BDS Sports Program 3. They're stamped their authority all over Watton. They're showing Watton what it's like to play against a giant in the Premier League, and this is Watton's first big test. They have many more to come. They still have to play BDF a second time around, so hopefully they can take the positives from this game, go back to the drawing board, and come ready for the remaining games of the season, because right now is a situation where they have to work very hard on that defense.
Well, Jason, I totally agree with you. It was an exciting game, and I certainly found it a pleasure to be here with you this evening for the first time. A legend is going to come up next for the second game, Ellerton versus Deacons. That's right, that game begins in a short while at 6 o'clock p.m. Jason, thanks for having me here on Trident 10 Network, Trident 10 Television, and Island Sports Network here at the Wildy Turf, St. Michael in beautiful Barbados.
Yes, it was a pleasure working with you, Jamal Slocum. Thanks for having you as well on the broadcast. And for the viewers who've just witnessed A defeat go to Wharton BDF Sports Program, stamping the authority all over the Wharton outfit, who had defended very lacklusterly throughout the entire game. They were in it at times, thanks to Paul Doughty, but again, the soldiers show their experience, and we'll be right back with the second game at 6 p.m. in a short while after these commercial breaks.
We're going to be watching
There from Emmafield. Hit a Holligan. Hit a Holligan.
the Lord.
Was ball and finished for sure.
This is tactical stuff that was practiced at the training ground. BDF going forward. Shot comes in, goal number 2. That is out of the top drawer. Ronaldo, Messi.
Foot one side. Shot hit. Goal! Rantes. Lawrence puts the ball into the back of the net.
When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. With a bunch in 3-0, when we are some Johnny Walker. Pick up our drinkers in at this place right now. I got all on a yellow wine while I'm drinking some fire water. Energy got me feeling so high.